Welcome to Nebraska Preps Postgame with your hosts, Mike Sautter and Jacob Padilla.
Hey everyone, welcome into Nebraska Preps Postgame. Mike Sautter, Jacob Padilla here, breaking down everything that happened in high school basketball last week, maybe looking ahead a little bit to this week. There was a lot that happened last week in high school basketball in the state of Nebraska. I mean, we can just start with Class A and the top of it, and we could probably talk for an hour about that.
New number one team again, which you and I were sitting there on Saturday after the games. We're like, who's going to be number one? And like we ended up settling on something different than the coaches voted for.
Right.
It was unanimous, the top four in your poll.
It was so Southwest had a killer week. We talked about it last week about what was ahead for them, and they handled themselves very well.
Yeah, showed they very much belong at the top of class.
Yeah, I mean, even with the one loss, a close loss to Westside. So, like, Southwest was number one. They lost a game. Westside was number two. They lost a game. Prep was number three. They lost. They beat Westside, which was number two.
Then lost.
And then lost to what was
North
number
Star.
five, North Star. It was like, okay, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, no, going from Friday to Saturday, that was wild.
And Southwest was number four, and they lost or Southeast was number four, and they lost to Southwest. So we have everybody lost to everybody.
Yeah.
So who was going to be number one was the question, and Westside
ended up winning out.
And
with that last loss.
Here's what I think the coaches were thinking: is Westside split with Prep. Right, they had beaten them once.
Yep.
So I think that's what
invalidates one of the losses.
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously a lot on the line there, and also
they play each other within a week too. Yeah. So
and also probably just a little bit of the talent and the makeup of that team compared to everybody else kind of won out with somewhat similar resumes.
Yeah. The Westside being one is because they beat the previous unbeaten number one. And then they do have a win against the team that beat them in a very close game.
Yep.
So it's, I think
so. So number one is Westside, like you mentioned, took care of business against Northwest early in the week. Then you were there on Friday night at Westside, the rematch from the Metro Holiday Final, which Westside won at Prep. Prep went and returned the favor 76-70, and it was 48-30 at halftime.
To be honest, I am almost... It wasn't, one of those, there's that term, tale of two halves. Yeah. No, it was like two different games.
Yeah.
Westside, credit to Westside 100% for coming out of halftime and being like, no, we're getting back in this thing.
27-13 in the third quarter.
Yeah, we're fighting back. We're coming. And they did. Is very much so credit to their, I guess, mentality, internal drive, whichever, thing you want to say. But Westside's very good. They're obviously very talented. I feel very strongly about that. But Prep just got him in ball screen actions and just couldn't really, and Westside couldn't really stop it. So it's one of those things to look at on film and kind of how do you make adjustments. So, but Emery Geddick was fantastic the whole game for them.
29 and 10, and that ultimately ended up being the Prep's balance outweighing Geddick's singular great game because the rest of the team shot 15 of 41. They just couldn't quite get a second score.
Somebody else to do something, and they just didn't have it that night. So, big environment, though. It was awesome.
Right, and I think a key, you said Prep didn't turn the ball over until the fourth quarter, right? Finished with three turnovers.
Yeah, their
game.
Last turnover was like 4 minutes or something, like late fourth quarter. First turnover, yeah. The first one of the game was, 3.5 quarters. So that's that Torrin Carter-Brown situation that we talked about.
15, 5, and 5 for him. You had 18 apiece for Cooper Knight and Max Jungers.
Max was good. He was good.
Ultimately, we said it going in, like how good this team is going to depend on the consistency of Jungers and Carter-Brown and their shot selection and the way they choose to play and how they lead this team. Because those are the guys you look as kind of...
the other guy, even for Prep, like your Connor Peters, like they got other guys making shots and doing things for them that they're stepping up and really being, secondary pieces to those two that are helping them out.
Yeah, so... but Westside bounced back 68-63 at Southwest on Saturday. And ultimately... the kind of going in and talked to a few different people about this matchup, You look at what Bellevue West did to Westside early on, very similar team in terms of getting up and really pressuring, guards getting up underneath, no real size to go up against the biggest team in Class A in Westside. And Bellevue West found a way to win that game. They out-toughed Westside. And the question was, how much did Westside learn from that game? And it was going to be the matchup of those really athletic guards that can, one, penetrate and make plays, and two, get up and pressure the Westside ball handlers, but then also just the size factor. Westside has 4 players taller than Southwest's tallest starter. Like you go 2 through 5, they're bigger than the guy starting at the 5 for Southwest. And obviously, the 6'10" Will Preston, 6'8" London Dada, 6'7" Emery Geddick, 6'5" Donnie Barfield at the 2. It is just tough versus, again, an entire guard lineup. You got Kobe Kerr at 6'4", is Westside's big right now, the way they're playing. So
Southwest,
Westside. Southwest. And so I was wondering, is there any way that Southwest was going to be able to rebound? And the answer was no. Westside had 19 offensive rebounds, and Southwest had 14 defensive rebounds.
Yeah, that's significant.
Yeah.
I really thought you were leading to something else there. That sounded like you were leading up to like some underdog story. And then you just kind of
nope.
No.
Dada had 7 offensive rebounds. Preston had 4. Barfield had 4. Geddick had 3. It just absolute worst possible matchup. That being said, it was a 5-point game. Southwest, like we said, they very much proved that they belong. Like, you play that game a few more times, maybe there's a way they find a way to swing it and to do a little bit better on the glass and maybe shoot a little bit better. Because Uzziah Sanders had 22 points, 5 assists. So 9 of 15 from the field. He was terrific. They didn't really have an answer for him. Micaiah Sanders had 15. Dakari Wilson, who I wrote about them after their win against Southeast on Friday, and he's kind of been the reason for the leap that they've made and where they are, is the third guy there, and the way he's shooting over 50% from 3. Had 11 in that one, hit 3 threes. So they just tough to keep up when you can't get a defensive rebound. But I think Westside obviously feels pretty good about themselves coming out of this. You've got Papio South on Friday, so a light week, and then and Monday. They got the Monday, the Martin Luther King Jr. Day event over at Abraham Lincoln. That'll be a big one against Storm Lake, Iowa. Jaden Kuhn, Creighton commit. So that'll be fun. You and I will be there, so we'll have to reschedule this podcast. It might be pushed back a little bit in the week.
Different day or something.
Yeah.
This is news.
Sorry.
But, yeah, we're breaking it now. So maybe if you don't get the pod till later in the week, you don't see it pop up next week. That's why we're going to be a little busy on Monday. But Southwest, they're now 9-1 after, again, just a brutal week. He had four straight games against top 10 teams, and they went 3-1, and it was a 2-possession loss in the one loss. So Southwest very much belongs. I was there I saw their first 2 games. I was there at Lincoln High on Tuesday. They won 76-73, and talk about resiliency. They were down 73-70.
Yeah.
Like, it was back and forth, 70 all. Russell Rux at third hits a 3 from the top of the key, and Southwest tries to answer with their own 3, misses, and then now they're in trouble. They finished the game on a 6-0 run. They had 2 steals. They had a steal in the backcourt with their pressure, bad pass, picked it off, uncontested layup the next time down. Micaiah Sanders sneaks up behind, knocks that ball free, and takes it the other way for a tough layup for the go-ahead bucket.
That was a massive play.
Yeah, huge. You can check our socials. I had a video of it. And they got to stop, hit free throws, and that was ball game. Missed kind of a half-court shot at the buzzer. So, again, they were in trouble. Finished that game just with their relentlessness and their pressure and ability to fluster Lincoln High. Lincoln High, we'll talk about them momentarily. They're a solid team. Like that's a really good win for them at their place, and that gym was packed. Great atmosphere there. Followed it up with 1 versus 2 in our computer ratings. We'll see kind of obviously with all the shakeup what that looks like. It drops Tuesday morning, so we don't have the updated results yet, but it was 1 versus 2 because they were the last 2 unbeaten teams. And they were sold out by the time I got there. I was fortunate enough to have someone saving me a seat up there in the radio section. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten in either. But, it was. I walked in, it was line around the building for people that I don't think hardly any of them were able to get in the building just because they had sold it out. And so great atmosphere in Southwest. Just Hudson Mesker went 4 for 4 from 3 in the second quarter, allowed them to build some separation, and then they just kind of answered every rally that Southeast made. Dakari Wilson, dagger 3, pulled up to essentially seal the game late. Again, he's had a great start to the season to go with the Sanders twins. So and then obviously the Westside loss. So still that's beating the teams they did, North Star, Lincoln High, Lincoln Southeast, like showing, hey, we're the best team in Lincoln, and then going toe-to-toe with a really talented Westside team they don't match up well with.
What is really cool about what happened Friday night in Class A basketball with the
same thing at Prep Westside.
Prep Westside was sold out, and they closed the doors 45 minutes before tip-off. Which is crazy. I mean, Westside's gym's not as big as Prep or some of the others, but so you had that game that was, hey, can't let anyone else in, and then you had the game Southeast Southwest, can't let anyone in. Southeast gym is big, so it is really cool that
seeing the community show up like that.
That those two things happened, and the communities showed up and really wanted to see those games. Even though we don't have the Chucky Hepburns and Hunter Salas matchups where that happened multiple times when those guys played.
Yeah, that senior year, every game was sold out, every somewhat decent big game.
It still tells you that people in Nebraska really, really care about high school sports. If you need any more proof, look at those two games.
That's exactly why we do this.
Ogallala and Cozad.
Yeah, Ogallala, Cozad. Their Malcolm Milford girls game was basically almost sold out too. It was packed gym. People actually really, really, really care about high school sports, and that if you need, especially basketball, obviously, and if you need any more evidence, look at last weekend what happened in gyms and people showing up. So it's really cool to see that. It really is.
I 100% agree. The atmospheres in those gyms, just the one I was in, just seeing others from afar, just hearing about it. Again, that's why we do this, is because in school, because the athletes deserve it. They deserve a great experience, and that's what packed gyms provide for the athletes, for the fans, for the coaches, for everybody involved there.
Yeah, even a evening game on a Saturday of Southwest and Westside, there was a lot of people. I mean, it's just...
Oh, and we forgot to talk about the delay there in that game. Donnie Barfield goes up for a tip slam. Great play, by the way. Yeah, and breaks the rim. So they had a 30-minute delay to go take a rim off another basket and bring it in and replace it. So, a lot of stuff happening this past week. But, they were able to get that game finished, fortunately.
Papio South, another one that had a huge... I mean, obviously the rivalry there, but there's just a multitude of those things. So, hey, guess what? I'm going to probably not mention one here, and I'm sorry, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't want to be here for an hour and a half.
Can't be everywhere all the time. But
well, you weren't there for the Elm Creek Overton game?
Sometimes people make comments that just don't make sense. Yeah. So
anyway, let's move ahead. 3 North Star, because they're now 9-2. They destroyed. 2 huge, 83-42 at Columbus, and Columbus they've got a nice young group.
Yeah.
That's not a walkover team. 70-46 against Lincoln East. They had Jordan Castor at a big Jordan Castor and Easton Schweitzer both. They nearly outscored Columbus by themselves. Come on for 41. Jason Afu go out for 20, hit 5 threes against East. And then wrap up the week with a 58-55 win at Creighton Prep. I was trying to watch this on stream. It kind of died with about 90 seconds ago, so I didn't get to see the end. But Prep just had no answer for Jordan Castor and keeping him off the line, ultimately. North Star did not shoot the ball well from 3, but they still Castor. North Star held them to outscored them 17-9 in the third quarter. And at that point in the fourth quarter, they just kind of kept them at an arm's distance the whole way through. Castor finished with 25 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Went 11 of 15 from the free throw line. Then got 14 points from Schweitzer and 10 points from Goy Gatwich. So really good win for North Stars, kind of rounding into the team that we expected going in the year. Obviously, they took a couple of tough losses to other Lincoln teams, but you make up for that by going and beating Prep, coming off of, again, their big win on Friday night at Prep.
Yeah, and Prep needed, that's one of those too, like how do you respond after a big win? How do you respond after a tough loss? Westside, Prep, like both had those. Southwest, Southeast, like they had big. Those were the 2 biggest games of the week. And how do you respond? Well, they responded pretty well, I think. Right?
And now they got a big one on Tuesday, Papio, the next test.
Right. Whew. Schedule's tough.
Yeah. And they got Norfolk Friday, Millard West Saturday for the rest of the week. So a 3-game week for the Navigators. At number 4, Prep, they already talked about both their results from last week. They only play on the weekend. They've got Millard West on Tuesday and Westview on Friday. So 2 teams that you got to show up to beat.
That is not an easy, like, roll the ball out situation at all.
Correct. At 5 is Southeast. They beat Lincoln Northeast 60-47 before that Southwest game. Grant Fredericks had 28 and 7 boards against Northeast. Followed that up with 18 points against Southwest. He's making a huge impact transferring back there to finish his high school career. Has been a big pickup for them, playing really well. They've got Westview Tuesday, and then Blue Valley North on Friday and Blue Valley on Saturday.
Go to Kansas City for a weekend or whatever it is.
Got to talk to some of you. I wonder kind of is it multiple times now where they've played like the Lincoln and kind of the Kansas City Metro.
I think it's just doing something, trying something different.
Yeah, just interesting what the connection is there, because this is the second time like we had a couple of Lincoln teams go down there.
Start the year.
Now these guys are doing it as well. So just interesting. And at 6 is Millard North at 9-3. They picked up a big win, 69-56 at Papillion-LaVista. Again, just kind of another balanced effort for them. You had 3 in double figures with Major Mosser, Mackay Carradine, and Corian Gallatin. Followed up a 72-35 win at Benson. And again, Benson, they're improved. Like that's a really strong performance for Millard North to win that way. Correct, but you had 19 points from Mosser, 12 points from Jaden Albert, 10 points from Jack Chambers. So again, you got six double-digit games from 5 different guys between the 2 wins. So just that Millard North, they're balanced, and a lot of different guys that can score for them. They've got Columbus Tuesday, at Millard South Friday. That's a big one. Millard North, Millard South, and then Waukee Northwest on Monday in the MLK thing at Abraham Lincoln. And
tough game.
Yeah. Waukee Northwest, we saw them last year. They're really, really good. They played against Bellevue West
7 times this summer. Too.
They've got Colin Rice, who's committed to Nebraska. Landon Davis committed to Illinois. They've got some football players that are good athletes. Got young guys that's got some recruiting interest.
Waukee Northwest is very good, too.
Yes. So they're going to have to bring their best in that one. At 7 is Bellevue West, who handled Omaha North last week at 21 points, 5 threes from Keaton Melcher. And then they pulled off a 62-59 win against Abraham Lincoln.
Bryce Johnson, second shot.
Game-winning and one at the end there with a few seconds left. Abraham Lincoln was up 29-25 at halftime, and then Bellevue West won the second half.
A lot of points in the second half.
37 points they put up after just 25 in the first half. So they got it going. Johnson finished with 23 points in the game-winning play, like we mentioned. They have Central on Friday, and then they play Trainer on Monday. So,
that's a tricky game Friday. A lot of guards in that game.
Indeed.
A lot of guards in that Central Bellevue West game on Friday.
Yep. At 8 is Papillion-LaVista. 7-6. They are
way better than
that. They're a team that's capable of beating anybody, but they still also have a 7-6 record. Yeah. So they're capable of playing with anybody. They just have to figure out how to kind of get over those humps in some of those bigger games and pull
they did
them out.
On Friday.
Yeah. So they lost it to Millard North, like I mentioned. Cedric Williams had a great week. Had 20 in their first game, 21 when they beat Papio South in the 69-58. So the key for them is they just got to get guys playing well together at the same time consistently, because they've got guys that are capable between Williams, DeMarcus McCarty, Sam Boudreau, and obviously Bryce Vignes inside. We've talked about just kind of the impact he can make. They just need to get more of those perimeter guys going at the same time. Preston Avalon as well. Just need to find some more consistency with those guys. They're all capable of it.
Their 6 losses are to Bellevue West, Skutt, who's very good, Central, Westside, AL, and Millard North.
Yeah, not a bad loss in there.
No, it's not. There isn't a
brutal schedule, and they've got the win over Prep to start the year.
They didn't get blown out. I mean, they were all close losses. Like there's the Bellevue West game, I guess, was 6 points, and then a 1 possession loss, a 1 possession loss, then lost by 13. Yeah. 3 of their 6 losses are 1 possession.
Yeah, so that'll be a team to continue to monitor, see if they can kind of get over the hump of these. And if their schedule is probably going to lighten up a little bit, they got a chance to reel off some wins and kind of get that record closer to maybe what you expect based on their talent level. And I'm sure those experiences will be valuable for them down the road. Like having seen all these teams early on, they know what they need to do to get to that level. At 9 is Central. Took care of business against South and got the rematch win over Millard West, who knocked them off in the Metro tournament, 68-63 in the rematch. They forced 20 turnovers from Millard West. You got 17 points and 5 rebounds from Evan Rogers to lead the way. Nathan Stavnik, he's really starting to come on for them. I guess the Westview transfer, he's an athlete, can offer them some defensive rim protection in addition to some scoring and rebounding. So he played well in both their games last week. So that's a piece for them that kind of adds to you mentioned all the guards that they already have. They've got Pius on Tuesday and Bellevue West on Friday, like we mentioned. So that's a big one. And then rounding out the top 10 is Lincoln High at 7-3. Got that close loss to Kearney to Southwest, and then they beat Kearney on the road. Got 26 points from Jackson Cruz. He had 23 against Lincoln Southwest. So you added him to Brady Nick, who was Class A's leading scorer. I haven't seen if he's still there, but he's right near the top. And then Russell Rux the third. He had a double-double against Southwest. As a junior there, he had 19 against Kearney. So those are kind of the 3 guys leading the way there. And I like Boy Jock. Like seeing them in person, this is a combination of rim protection. He had 5 blocks against Southwest and really good athlete. Kind of 6'4", holding down the middle spot to go with all those perimeter players. So, and he stepped out and knocked down at 3 as well against Southwest. So it's an intriguing team. Like Lincoln High, they've got a nice group of talent put together.
Jackson Cruz coming over there from Southwest has helped a little bit there too.
Yeah, since he's become eligible. Yeah. Again, to put 49 points in their 2 games last week. They've got South and Columbus this week. And then you got Westview receiving votes there. That's it. Yeah. So
we'll see if that is Millard North, right? Tuesday.
Yeah, they've got a few ones, tough ones this week. So it's a young team. They've got some talent though.
Class B, Norris stays at 1, Skutt 2. Nothing really changed. Roncalli moved up, even though they lost to Skutt.
Yeah, Norris, they had the rematch with Gretna East after the 64-57 in the EMC semifinal. Gave them some problems. No problems this time.
Yeah,
82-47 was the final, and Shane Holland 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists. Told you, like, he's gonna make a massive difference. The closer he gets to full strength, you add to what they already have. Evan Greenfield had 16, 6 assists, 4 steals in that one. Those are 2 guys that can absolutely stuff the stat sheet, can guard anybody on the court. That Norris very much looks to be rounding into form, 11-1 now. Very strong at the top. You mentioned Skutt. They won. They beat Elkhorn North 54-43 on Saturday. That was a Saturday afternoon one that you and I had talked about. It was big. They just defensively, Skutt did a fantastic job. They held Elkhorn North at 35% from the field. They only hit 4 threes against them. And they got a double-digit lead in the first half and then kind of just held it throughout. Elkhorn North wasn't able to kind of get back in it. So, yeah, I mean, that's a really strong one, too, with Norris and Skutt.
Game there, too.
He is – I'm so impressed with how improved he is just offensively and his ability to get into his post moves and touch that he's developed. So he's a tough matchup. There's not really anybody that can – take him on one-on-one in Class B this year. At 3 is Scottsbluff, who took your business against the Bennington and Creighton coming out there. Scottsbluff, they won 71-58 against Bennington. Nate Kelly had a big game, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Riley Meininger had 22. He had Keon Delgado, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. Made every shot from the field. Like he got in foul trouble against Skutt and is kind of their one actual big. It's a good player for them. They need him out there. Yeah. So you see kind of the impact that he's capable of making. And then they beat Crete 69-45. Had 4 from 3 for Isai Sabala to lead him in scoring. You get those other guys besides Kelly and Meininger knocking down shots. That's how Scottsbluff has a chance to be among the best. Yeah. And so here they are at number 3 with a 10-2 record.
They have a week to get ready for Ogallala.
Yeah, no games this week. That's a big one coming up. So
more than a week, I guess 8 days or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
it's rare to see. Kind of a schedule quirk for them, but also probably tough to pack out their schedule with where they are and finding games.
Yeah, that gym in Scottsbluff that night's going to be,
yeah. We talk about community support and great atmosphere.
That game is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you called me a couple weeks back, and we're already looking ahead. You're like, could we find a way to swing this? Like trying to find a way to make it out there. But so if you're going out there, that should be a fun one. Elkhorn North is hanging there at 4. They beat Lincoln Standing Bear before the loss of Skutt. They've got Gretna East on Tuesday and then Elkhorn on Friday, both on the road. Gretna East is at 5. They beat Lincoln Northwest earlier in the week before that loss to Norris, and then they've got Grand Island after that Elkhorn North game. 6 Wahoo, they beat Lincoln Lutheran by 15. Got 23, 7, and 4 from Cody Hesser, and Kip Brigham had 14 points, 6 assists. They've got Nebraska City on Tuesday, Platteview Friday, and DC West Saturday. So they got some tricky ones there later in the week for Wahoo with Platteview and at DC West. That could be a fun one on Saturday. Bennington at 7.
Go ahead. I was just going to say DC West is 3rd in C1. Yeah. I mean, they're not a bad team.
No, that's that was
their one loss is the Ogallala.
That's certainly one of the ones I wrote down. Like I'm considering for Saturday. We'll have to see where I end up, but on the radar for sure. Bennington at 7. They beat Blair handily, and then lost to Scottsbluff, and then beat Gering handily while they were out there. Big week for Landon McCarville. Had 25, 5 boards, 3 assists against Blair. Had 24, hit 5 threes against Gering. So like they're pretty good when he's making shots. I'll put it that way. And you've got Blaze Young kind of stuff in the stat sheet as well. So those are kind of the 2 guys leading the way for Bennington. They've got Northwest Tuesday, Waverly Thursday, and North Platte Saturday. So a 3-week game for Bennington. Gretna is at 9. They beat Waverly, and they beat Lincoln Northwest. They've got Blair Tuesday, Lewis Central over in Council Bluffs on Friday, and then they're playing
Monday,
Abraham Lincoln in their event there. And then
they're just getting
10.
a little better. They're just kind of getting better. The Roncalli at 8, their 2 losses. You know what their 2 losses are?
Who are
Ashland Greenwood
and Skutt. Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
It's not bad at all. It's pretty good. And then they have Mount Michael. They go to Mount Michael, the Palace, the tiny little baby Palace on Friday night.
Another
that should be you're not gonna be able to get in. I mean, really. No. You can't sit anywhere anyway, much less. Yeah. Be putting chairs on the stage and stuff. Yeah.
And then Aurora cracked the top 10 there at number 10 as a newcomer.
Right.
Only a few games.
Aurora and Platteview just keep like flipping back and
yeah.
forth from 10 to receiving votes. Like they just keep going back and forth.
Yeah. Aurora's 8-3. So yeah, they've got Hastings Tuesday, Milford Thursday, O'Neill Saturday. So we'll see if they can keep it rolling. And C1, one kind of noteworthy result that caused some change up, and then we got some big games coming up. Grand Island Central Catholic beat Doniphan-Trumbull at their place 50-44 thanks to an 18-9 fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So the Crusaders really came alive there to steal that one. You got 18 points, 7 boards from Connor Haney, and 16 points from Brandon Cloud, and 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals from Braylon Wolf. They forced 20 turnovers and only allowed 8 2-point made field goals
that's pretty good.
in the game. So GICC jumped a spot to number 8. Doniphan-Trumbull dropped from 4 down to 9. So outside of that, not a ton shake up there.
Well, Ogallala handled Cozad their first loss of the year, but Cozad then moved up.
Which one shows the amount of respect for Ogallala
Yes.
that losing to them, that doesn't hurt you at all.
Right.
But also Cozad bounced back with like a 50-point win or whatever it was. And so, still a good team there.
Right.
But we got some big ones coming up. DC West at UTAN Tuesday.
Yeah.
UTAN is number 3, unbeaten in C2. Yeah. They've got Ryan McGuire and Isaac Couch kind of leading the way, that backcourt. So that'll be a fun one. Gross at Concordia Tuesday. You got Cozad at Gothenburg. 2 top 10 type teams there. And at Roncalli Mount Michael, you mentioned Doniphan-Trumbull. They've got Adams Central on Saturday. And then I mentioned Wahoo and DC West. And then you've also, between C1 and C2, you've got the MUDECAS tournament this week.
That's it's C1, C2, D. They're all kind of in there. Yeah. And the potential matchup of, EMF is in the A division. Yeah. So Freeman, EMF, Johnson, Brock.
So Freeman, seedings hold, it would be Freeman, Tri-County up top, and then Johnson, Brock, and EMF in the semis on Thursday.
Which could be really big. Those are big games.
I'm very strongly considering heading out there because I've never been to the MUDECAS tournament.
Oh, really?
The schedule just never worked out.
That's awesome.
It's always,
you have to sit on the stage as a media person if there's room. If not, you're standing up. It's pretty cool. The Beatrice City Auditorium is a pretty cool environment for that. The final is always the final is scheduled for 7. It's never 7. I've been to the final of that multiple times, and it's always about 8:15.
The schools in that area will also call MUDECAS the hardest tournament in the state. So
it is hard.
It's
a
very prideful event. And as much as
this is
people,
the 98th one.
Yeah, a lot of people obviously moving here to Omaha. I've heard of how tough the Metro Conference is, and the Hack tournament, all that stuff. MUDECAS is an entirely different beast because those schools hate each other too. Yeah. So it's notches on notches in the belt for this one.
Yeah,
it's a great, and it's it's all that Southeast Nebraska smaller schools play in it, and there's the A division and B division, and the A division is the quote unquote hardest one, and it's last year it was Johnson Brock Freeman. I believe Freeman beat them last year. Johnson Brock did. Johnson Brock won last year because I was there, and then this year it could be the same. So
and you got some really good players. Freeman's a really balanced team, but Tri-County, Drew Sims is putting up ridiculous numbers for them. Grady Bresson for EMF is putting up crazy numbers. We know Brody Kaler for Johnson Brock, how talented he is. So you got some really good players in this tournament. So if you're hanging out anywhere near Beatrice and looking for some basketball this week, drop by the auditorium.
Yeah, I mean, even JCC is not terrible, and they play EMF in the first round on Tuesday.
Swanson, good regard for them.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so every other day. And then the other, I think the girls is Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or something There's a lot going on in Beatrice. I know, the fast food joints are going to be hopping this week. I mean, looking at that, it's Freeman, Diller, Odell, Tri-County, and then Fall City, Sacred Heart, and then EMF, JCC, and then Johnson Brock, Palmyra is the A division. Yeah. First time I ever went years ago, this is story time. First time I ever went was a handful of years ago. I don't remember, probably 7 at this point. I go on the first day, and I'm like, I just want to sit there and watch the whole thing, right? So it was like the Tuesday or whatever, and I get there and watch the first game. It was Fall City Sacred Heart. They beat somebody, and I'm sitting on the stage because they just have tables on the stage because the stands where fans sit is on the other side. And it was before they redid before shot clocks, obviously, and before they redid the scoreboard. So it was like a super old scoreboard that I don't know how it's still working. And I'm sitting there, I'm just covering every game, watching it. And Doug Goltz sits next to me. Like I knew Doug, right? I will never forget it because he pulled out these 2 big sheets, like scouting sheets. Not a notebook, like sheets. Yeah, like sheets, big printed like things. And he was just writing it out and stuff. I mean, I was sitting like next to him, and we just got to talking during the, as he's scouting stuff, and I was like, what'd you see there? Like, I was trying to pick his brain as he was doing it, because we're talking about one of the best high school coaches ever in football and basketball, with state championships, multiple on both. And it was just super. I remember thinking, like, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm sitting here doing this right now. Yeah. So, that's my biggest MUDECAS memory. That and getting home on Saturdays at like 2 a.m. after the games. So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Nope. That's nice little story time. I think we've.
Okay, let's talk about girls.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not much change in C2, D1, D2 polls, so not much to hit on there. But yeah, we had some important games, and we got some big ones coming up as well on the girls' side. It just kind of top 10-ish upsets. Yeah, Millard South beat Westview handily, 59-42, and then I was there, saw the end of it. Lincoln High beat Lincoln Southwest in overtime. High's got some young players that like next year they've got a chance to be, I think, quite good. But outside of that, the Nebraska Girls Showcase out there in Kearney. Unfortunately,
Austin didn't go.
Yeah, he got like 6 different diseases. He's stuck in his bed.
Diseases?
That's why he's in a room. That's why he's in that room with the door shut. No one wants to be around.
Actually, the studio producer, but that's fine. It is what it is. Nope, got to watch via stream, and big shout out to Tony Chapman helping me out, just giving me eyes on the ground, all that sort of stuff too. And Mike was out there for Game of the Week as well. Yeah. So it was really good matchups. Obviously, the biggest names performed the best. The Ray sisters from Oakland Craig were phenomenal. Kinley Ford, the freshman from Elma. I thought she was going to go off for like 30 points. She's averaging 20 a game. She only scored 7.
She was like 5 of 17
but their team scored like 32 or whatever it was. Right?
She did hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah, in the post-game interview, it was very funny listening to her too, because she said, "Well, I wasn't making them all day, so I might as well have made the last one," which is kind of a good sentiment to go out on.
100%, great mindset to have.
I think the only other stuff that we really learned is Milford, Shayla Rottenberg. Obviously, if you don't have someone to contend with her, she's pretty good.
Let me tell you.
But then on top of that too, she's got a running mate as well, and when you can get 17 from Rottenberg, 15 from someone else on that team, they're hard to beat. And
they got the big one over Malcolm on Thursday, was it, right?
Yep. So you got 2 really big wins as well there. And Malcolm's not going anywhere either. They were obviously very impressive. Hallie Dolliver got the career scoring mark for the Clippers too. But this is a great event that's put on, and the pinnacle of it was Pender taking down Millard North at the very middle part of the day. I think it was like the 1:50 tip-off time. Yeah. Pender was in control of the game from the very beginning.
It was, to be completely frank, like it wasn't as close. It was.
Yeah, it finished.
I was there.
It finished being a 10-point game. It was kind of slow, a bit choppy. There was a lot of fouls in there. Mustangs tried to make it a really game about size, and Pender just didn't play to that at all. It was impressive to see how Pender controlled the pace of the game throughout.
Pender had 24 turnovers, only hit 4 threes, and still won by 10.
Yes, and they did not play Pender basketball. That was not what we were used to seeing from Pender, but yet they still, even on their off day, found a way to win and beat 3 classes above their fighting weight.
And people out there were like, "Oh, did you see Pender beat Millard?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Like Pender's very good. Like they're good." And to the Shayla Rottenberg note, she's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
good note, Mike.
First time I saw her, that's the first time I seen her play basketball. she's very good.
And much more developed than what we saw last year at State.
Tournament,
right?
yeah.
And, I mean, last year, I think, Jacob, we were sitting next to each other at State. We said, like, it was obvious that it was lob in, get a shot up quick, get the ball in her hands, just make her move. She's done a lot of work on her game and actually can move with the ball now and knows where to go with it. She's not usually shut down very often on first look, but she has options and opportunities to be able to kind of move about and kind of do things differently than what I saw from her freshman year last year.
Ogallala's a good girls basketball team.
They were unbeaten.
They're good. I saw them against Beatrice. They beat Beatrice. I mean, like, Ogallala's very good. That game was not close.
And I'll add this, too. Big week stretch coming up for this next week in Class A girls basketball. Not this week, but the next.
The biggest game.
I think the Kearney girls are a sneaky underlying dark horse in Class A. I mean, they are unbeaten right now, but we'll learn more about them in a week.
Freshman's very good, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That as far as the showcase thing, and one last thought on Shayla Rottenberg. Her timing, blocking shots, rebounding, all of that is phenomenal.
She's averaging 19, 16, and 4, essentially.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I
know she's a big-time volleyball recruit, but if she wanted to play basketball at a very high level, she absolutely could.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind she could play basketball for any Power 4 team, a lot of them. How about that?
And you mentioned running mate. They got 32 from sophomore Abby Crabtree in that win. 66-64 win over Malcolm on Thursday.
So Malcolm, their defensive strategy was just to pack the paint and then, like, take their chances. And that's probably the only way you can beat them because it's not just Shayla. Like, they have another big. Their guards, like, they're athletic. Milford's very good girls. But that's what happened. Yeah. Like, Milford just hit some threes. Yeah.
So, you mentioned Hallie Oliver breaking the scoring record,
she broke the scoring record
for Malcolm, which is impressive considering she missed last year.
Yeah.
Like, she basically did it two and a half years of actually playing.
Yeah, that game, Central City's not bad. They're actually pretty good. But they played 2-3 zone, and they put Hallie in the middle of it and just kicked it enough. And then they kind of got Central City sped up. The first half wasn't great for Malcolm. Coach was not happy at halftime when I did the halftime interview thing. But then they kind of picked up the pace a little bit and kind of sprayed the ball more. It was getting stuck a little bit. Yeah. Hallie in the middle of that 2-3 zone, because that's, you have someone in the middle. Yeah. She's great. She's a great passer. She's very underrated. She could kind of turn and face the basket and then shot, like, pass fake because you could probably get someone to jump and then kind of go to the rim. But she plays very hard. She's super competitive. First time I've seen her play basketball in a really long time, since she was, I think, her freshman year, actually. So, pretty good. Now, Peyton Oliver is going to be a thing as well. Very much so a thing.
Averaged 20 a game last year as a freshman when her sister was sidelined with the injury. And now you've got them playing together.
I actually told Hallie after the game, I was like, hey, good job on that record, but it ain't going to be there for very long.
I did get a message from a couple Malcolm people that said Peyton was notably upset that I did not have her on my players to watch in our promo video, which was my fault.
Yeah. Hey, that means people were watching.
Yeah. And it means I motivated her.
There
so you're welcome, Peyton.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if she needs much. She's very good.
Yeah, shouldn't need any motivation for this week because there's some big games on the girls' side. In Class A, you got Millard West at Lincoln North Star on Saturday. Huge. Obviously we know North is kind of becoming what it is over here. Waiting, got down the line. We got North Star.
It's next Friday. Yeah. It's next Friday.
Yes.
Or next week, 27th, whatever Tuesday. I think that is.
For the hype to be as high as it possibly could, though. We'll see if North Star can handle Millard West first, because obviously. You've got two of the best players in the state going head to end. We know North Star with that 1-3-1, with the length they have. You got Millard West with Kylie Pabin, obviously having a great season. So that'll be a fun one on Saturday. And then in B, C classes, you've got...
Hold on. I'm looking up when that game is because now I'm very intrigued in my brain. The 23rd is Omaha North and North Star.
Yep.
That's the game. Yeah. Next Friday, week from Friday.
But again, North Star's got to get through Millard West first for that to one at a time, because those are the three best teams in Class A.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And so it's kind of cool to see just measuring sticks to see North Star get to play both of them. Obviously, we just saw North against
within
Millard
a short
West.
period of time.
Yeah. So, we've got some big ones in BC as well. Ogallala, Sydney, both 10-1 on Friday. And then you've got Pius against unbeaten Lincoln Christian as well on Saturday. So obviously Pius is a really good team as well. So some big week of girls games coming up as well.
It's almost like last week was this huge week for boys, and then this week's the big week for girls.
Yeah. So
and then next week is a mixed week of big games for both.
Next week is a very mixed week,
All right, let's get out of here with some shout-outs.
All right.
And I've got a 40-point game, a couple of triple-doubles, and a freshman going off.
And so Smith.
I cut it off just at 4 names here. He would have been number 5. I could have gone through 10.
Yeah,
huge
game.
Go look at I just mentioned him before, and we talked about him a lot on this pod. But go look at once I release the full list, because I'll tell you, it was absolutely stacked this week. There were some amazing performances across the state. But just for now, we'll focus on these ones. Twin Loop sophomore Yaya Harris had a tough one to start the week, but bounced back, played really well. 27 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, and assists. 55-34 win against Ansley Litchfield, and followed that up with 40 points. His second 40-point game of the season on 16 of 29 from the field, 5 of 11 from 33 of 5 from the line, with 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 2 steals in a 79-58 win against Pleasanton. And again, just a sophomore. So he's putting up some ridiculous numbers there for Twin Loop. Deschler senior Carson Sieber, first of the triple-doubles. He had 19 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 3 steals in a 58-29 win against Air Central. And then he followed that up with 18 points and 19 rebounds, shooting 9 and 12 from the field with 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals in a 68-44 win at Shelton. So huge week for him. Then the other triple-double is from Kobe Myers for Millard South.
The cut.
Had 15 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds, so career high in assists, tied his career high in rebounds, 2 steals and a block, shot 5 of 8 from the field, went 3 of 4 from 3, and 2 of 2 from the line in an 88-66 win at Omaha North. And then followed that up with 24 points on 10 of 16 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and a block in a 71-53 win at Lincoln Pius at 10th. And he's kind of been stuffing the stat sheet for them, kind of doing a lot of playmaking for others, rebounding the ball. He stepped up as Carter Margheim has kind of taken over the scoring lead for them. He's done basically everything else. And then, he can score as well when he needs to. So he had a great week for Millard South. And then finally, Maxwell freshman Peyton Phillips, 34 points and 9 of 16 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 12 of 15 from the foul line, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a 66-44 win at Arapahoe. Not bad for a freshman.
Not bad. Yeah. All right, that'll do it for Nebraska Preps Postgame.
A Herd at Sports Network production.